Oh, wait. Yes, we're live. We're streaming. It's Hog Out. Now, Hog Out means hang out with Hoggy. All right. So that's why I've got the Hog Out. The dream team behind the scenes have been very creative. So I'm very lucky to have them. But basically, what we're going to talk about today is the rise of Jaswell, the form of Aya, as well as Gill. Are they going to be ready for the tours of Australia and England coming up for India over the next year? That's what we can discuss. And I also want to talk about Folkes, the keeper from England. He has been sensational, and I've got a big rap for him. And we'll have a look at the Australian one-day team as well. There's a couple of new names there that I want to talk about that might be very, very potent players coming up in the IPL. So let's roll the bumper, okay? I love that tune. I love that tune. I was just dancing a little bit there. But let's get straight on to Jaswell. I have been very impressed with the way that he's gone about his innings in this second test match. The way that he handled Anderson. Anderson, the leading wicket taker for fast bowlers in world cricket. He is sensational with the new ball. But with the old ball, he's been moving it as well. He has been on top of Jaswell, getting Jaswell to play and miss. But the thing that I like about Jaswell, he's not chasing the ball. He's just playing the line and letting it go past him. He's got to learn to continue to do that when he gets on the bouncier wickets of Australia and when the ball moves over in England. When the ball's moving more in England with the Duke ball, he's got to make sure that he's covering the stumps for that ball that's coming in and not be prepared to be beaten on the inside edge because you don't want to get LBW, but be prepared to be beaten on the outside edge when you're facing the new ball. That's something Jaswell can work on. And if they've got a little bit of break with one-day cricket and they want to give Jaswell just a little bit of time to adjust to those conditions, he could spend a bit of time over here in Australia and train here out the Wacker. I'll be willing to help him out and just do the right thing by India coming over here and do the right thing by him to make sure that he gives himself the best chance to perform in foreign conditions. So Jaswell, watch out for him. He's brilliant in India. The other thing I love about him too, he'll be very difficult to bowl spin to. Yes, he can hit with the spin going away, but what I like, he likes to go over cover with the ball turning in as well. So when you can hit against the spin, that makes it extra difficult for a spinner to get on top of the batsman. Jaswell has got the complete game. So the only thing with Jaswell now, we've seen him in South Africa, and he just needs to make sure bouncier wickets, what's his game plan, how's he going to adapt. Now let's go to Iyer, Shreyas Iyer. I've been watching him today. He's been a little bit too fancy. He's been out of form. When you're out of form, you've got to keep it nice and simple. There's a huge opportunity for him right now to cement a spot in this Indian lineup. He's done so well in previous occasions. He's had a reasonably successful career at Test level in the short time that he's been here, but he's got away with a bit of flashy type of cricket. So when you're under pressure, you've got to keep it nice and simple. You've got to work the ones and twos. You've got to go through those tough periods. When you're having trouble against Jimmy Anderson, that's James Anderson with the short ball, who's not that quick. He's not as quick as the other bowlers that you're going to face around world cricket when you go to Australia and England. When you're having trouble on a placid wicket like this over in Vizag, you know that you have a lot of gremlins with the short ball. He can't be backing away and trying to hit it over backward point. He's got to get behind it, work the one, get up the other end, and make sure he wears this England bowling attack down. Jimmy Anderson is the most experienced bowler in this lineup. They've got a list of spinners that are so inexperienced that he can take apart. He's very good against spin, but he's got to play it properly. He can't be doing the fancy footwork, backing away, then coming back in line with it, trying to put the bowler off. Don't do that. You're playing into the bowler's hands. So Iyer, he's got to pull his head in a little bit and make sure he takes the opportunity while Kohli and Rahul's not there. And that's the same with Gill. Gil, been very impressed with him. We made a beautiful 90 over here when India beat Australia on out the Gabba, where the West Indies have just beaten us well. Well done to the West Indies. I like it that the West Indies did it. It's so good for world cricket to see the West Indies beat us here in our home ground. Gee, I don't sound like an Australian, do I? But he was brilliant over here. He was aggressive. He was playing through the line of the ball. But at the present moment against pace and against Anderson was just working him over, just trying to bowl just a couple of stumps outside the off stump. He was still trying to fetch the ball. Couple of edges, went through third slip, got away with it. Then Anderson just went a little bit straighter, a little bit tighter on off stump, and then threw one just slightly wider than the lines before, and he got the fainter edge. Just worked him over beautifully. Gill went under pressure outside off stump. He's got to know where it is and learn to leave the ball. In Test cricket, when you've got a lot of time, especially batting on the first day where you've got to make a big score, you've got to be able to leave that ball and make the bowlers bowl to you. And when the fast bowlers are bowling to him on a straighter line, he's so good straight. He can work it through the leg side. And then they try and bowl a little bit wider. It gives that extra width where he can cut it. So he's got to learn to play the patience game. I want to go down with Patidar. I don't know why they've played him in front of Khan, but I think that it would be that the selectors think that he'll be able to play pace better than Khan. Khan has done amazing things in first-class cricket over in India. He's averaged 80 over the last couple of years. He's smashing it. He's smashing the house down. But when we see him on IPL and there's that extra pace, whoa, watch out. He doesn't want to be in there. He doesn't want to be in the contest. He's got to learn to pay the extra pace. And I think that's why Patidar has got the nod in front of Khan. But I'll be interested. I'm just making sure I get his brother's name. Mushul Khan has made a couple of hundreds in the under-19s, and he bowls some pretty decent off spin from what I've seen. Just the small snippets from the IPL. Watch out for this kid. I think he'll go over the top of his brother, and he'll play for India. He'll have a long career for India when the time comes. So watch out for Khan's brother, Mushul Khan, down the track. Now, I talked about Folkes. Ben Folkes from England. What a catch that was against Iyer with the left-arm spinner Hartley coming over around the wicket. The ball just kept a little low. Folkes has gone up, but seen it's gone low, quickly back down, and then the under edge from Iyer, and he's still going down to catch it. He's a tall keeper. He moves well against pace. He covers the ground, but when he's against spin, he's down the leg side quickly, taking the stumps off. He's outside off stump, beautiful, taking the stumps off. Edges, I don't see him drop too many. I watched him. I was commentating Test series 2 years ago or 3 years ago, England versus Sri Lanka over in Sri Lanka. The ball was turning massively, and he was just taking them behind the stumps with absolute ease. And he won that series for England over there with his keeping. He is the best keeper I have seen over the last 5 years, 6 years. You've got to say MS Dhoni. I'm putting him in front of MS Dhoni over those last 5 years. MS Dhoni before that was unbelievable. But MS Dhoni has got a little bit long in the tooth. That's an Australian slang for a little bit old. But he's still playing for Chennai, doing a good job. But Ben Folkes, I think he's as good as MS Dhoni. And I think he's been better than MS Dhoni over the last 5 years. So I just wanted to raise that. Hey, let's just get that Australian team up there, AK. Just quickly, have a look at that. Some of the names, if you've got it in the back there, look at that. We've got Travis Head, Josh Inglis. You saw him opening the batting in the World Cup. Just gone. You've got Cameron Green there, Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne. I don't think he'll play much white ball cricket moving forward with Australia. But Matthew Short, he dominated the Big Bash this year, and hopefully he gets more opportunity in the IPL in the IPL that's coming up. He's out Punjab. I reckon he will have a massive IPL, and he will help Punjab have a little bit of success this year, because they need a batsman to stand up, and I think Matty Shaw will be the one to stand up. And who we've got there afterwards, young Aaron Hardy. Watch out for this kid. All-rounder. He bats number 3 for the Scorchers. He bats down the lower order for the Western Australia in first-class cricket, but he can also bowl a heavy ball as well with his medium pace. Fantastic all-rounder. And he always, over the last couple of years, when West Australia have been in a lot of trouble and the conditions are tough, he's made some big runs. So watch out for Aaron Hardy, lower order batter, but very handy with the ball. If teams are short in this year's IPL or have an injury with an all-rounder or a batsman, he would be the perfect fit to fill in for an IPL team there. Bartlett, he's just a medium pacer that's tall, hits a good length. He did really well in his debut today, and he just hits that line of length, top of off stump. I think he's got a long career. But then we've got Lance Morris. Lance Morris is a workhorse. Can bowl 140 plus, long spells of 140 plus, puts pressure on batsmen. He can amp it up and get into the 150s when he's feeling fresh. But with the workloads over the last year and travelling with Australia, he's just dropped off on that pace at the moment. But Lance Morris, watch out for him. Extra pace. The thing with Lance Morris that he's got to work on is just being able to just slow it down every now and then and move the ball both ways and just try and hit that good length. Now, just get that off, please, AK. I just want to I just heard the commentators talking about Virender Sehwag earlier and his approach to spin. Kevin Peterson was saying while he was out the Delhi Capitals playing with Virender Sehwag, they'll go into the team meetings and talk about the pace bowlers, and then they'll come to spin, and it'll be about a 3-second footage package, and Virender Sehwag would just go smash him, tonk him. It did not rate spin. And I have been on the brunt of it. I remember playing a test match against him in Adelaide over here back in 2007. Might have been, 2007, might have been 2008. We might have got into the following year. And he just belted me all over the park in a 5-over spell that I bowled to him. And I said to Adam Gilchrist, who was behind the stumps, I said, Adam, I don't know what to do here. I've got no answer for Virender Sehwag. And I said, this is probably the best I have ever bowled out this level. And he's just taken me apart. He had no fear, Virender Sehwag. And when he was on song, he was very hard to bowl to. Now, when we go, we've got questions about the match, tactics or anything like that. Yes, cricket related. I don't know whether anyone's up and going to hit me up for a live chat box. But down the track on this segment, Hog Outs, what we're going to do is we're going to get you to come live on the chat. We're going to have a talk, you and me. You can ask me any questions. I'll ask you questions, and we'll have a little bit of a chat about what's going on with cricket, you, the fan, because I want to get closer to you. It's been a while since I've done a live, but this is going to happen a lot more regularly. Looking forward to catching up with you guys down the track. I'll see you at the end of this test match with India versus England, and we'll also talk about Australia and the West Indies, what's going on there now. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.